and 2 and 3 hit. It was huge. I mean, they kept coming up in progression. Like, it was, you know, one after the other after the other. They kept coming, didn't waste any time. They might not have known they had a hit on their hands, but once they did, it was immediate.
Mega Man is on a roll, but Capcom's next move will be a frustrating one. In 1991, Nintendo releases the Super Nintendo, an updated version of their aging console system. But one character is nowhere to be seen.
I think they continued to do Mega Man games for the NES because, first of all, it was easy to do. It was inexpensive for them to develop additional Mega Man games. All 6 of the Mega Man games for the NES use the same character animation. They have different music, different backgrounds, different enemies, different things to do, but it's basically the same engine. They got it right the first time and they just continued to do it.
They didn't want to mess with the formula. Capcom's famous for not messing with a good thing, and at the time, Mega Man 2 had done outrageous numbers, and 3 did fairly well, and they figured, you know, why mess with a good thing?
Yeah, like maybe the decision seemed a little weird now. But at the time, you know, the installed base of the Nintendo was outrageous. It was huge. So why wouldn't you want to release a new Nintendo game with, you know, your all-star Mega Man?
Mega Man 4 blasts its way onto shelves in 1991. However, many people are beginning to move on to the newer system, leaving the Blue Bomber with a shrinking fan base. Mega Man 5 is released in 1992. And Mega Man 6 hits the shelves a year later with little fanfare. The future looks bleak for the little robot. But in true video game style, he's about to get another life. By 1994, Capcom has quite a bit of experience making games for the Super Nintendo. They know that they will have to do more than just re-release older games on the new system. Mega Man needs a makeover.
I guess with every system you have to have some sort of major evolution because graphically you can do so much more. And the cool thing about Mega Man is he didn't go into 3D because you couldn't really quite yet. So instead what Capcom did was just give him a makeover and make him Mega Man X.
Using elements of the original series, Capcom's designers add new moves. And new characters to give gamers a different experience.
Yeah, the Mega Man X series was very different from the originals. It still had the same type of gameplay. The character was similar, but it took place in a different time frame. The Mega Man X games are harder.
I tend to not like the Mega Man X series, mainly because it's really hard. I feel like breaking my controller when I play them.
They're much more serious in tone. The boss characters in the original Mega Man games are a little more comical and lighthearted and more colorful. The Mega Man X characters are hard and metallic, and some of those games are brutally difficult.
Yet the game finds its fans.
So it was this really cool techno quality to Mega Man. It was really neat. Like, all the bosses were a lot more extravagant. All the sprites were a lot more colorful. Instead of the basic Flame Man, you had, like, mantises and peacocks and all these really extravagant creatures and bosses that you really didn't expect in the Mega Man universe. But when they make a flamingo robotic, it's cool for some reason. Dr. Wily knew what he was doing.
Mega Man X arrives in stores in 1994. And Mega Man fans take notice. Mega Man's popularity is on the rise, and Capcom releases 2 games only a few months apart, Mega Man X2 and Mega Man 7. For the first time, Capcom allows 2 separate series to continue simultaneously, both the X series and the Classic series.
It got to a point where there was just a new Mega Man game coming out practically every year. I don't know if everybody was on top of that and was just continuing to buy all the Mega Man games, but the fact that there was a steady stream of games with that character in it, you know, really guaranteed that he would continue to be successful even when the newer systems started to come out.
Mega Man X3 arrives in stores less than a year later, but once again, the video game landscape is changing, and Mega Man will soon find himself homeless. By 1997, Nintendo has retired their Super Nintendo, and Sony's PlayStation is sending shockwaves through the industry. Capcom moves ahead. To mark the 10th anniversary of the Blue Bomber, they decide to release Mega Man 8, an update for the classic series, for the Sega Saturn. Fearing the competition, Sony also agrees to release the game. But they have a condition.
And Sony insisted that the PlayStation version of Mega Man 8 have something different, special, additional, that the Saturn version didn't have. They ended up including a commemorative booklet that showed all the different boss characters from various Mega Man games, just so that Sony could say, hey, the PlayStation version's got something the Saturn version doesn't have.
Mega Man finally arrives on Sony's new console, but his next jump will be an unexpected one. In 1998, Capcom follows up Mega Man's arrival on the PlayStation by agreeing to Sony's demand for a new look at the little robot.
Wait a second. Where are you going, Mega Man? That's not the right way.
But the overhaul will take some work.
The Megaman series is originally a 2D game, and trying to transform that 2D game into a 3D world. How would Mega Man look as he's jumping in a 3D world? How would he look as he's firing, running, all in this 3D world? So many different animations and movements you have to think about that aren't considered in 2D because they don't exist.
If I was going to have to say there's one particular trait about the Mega Man Legends series that really stands out, it would have to be that you're on an adventure.
Okay, Roll, everything's all right here.
Trying to put Rockman in this new 3D world and have him interact with everything in a believable fashion and still have all the fans think, yes, that is in fact the Mega Man that I'm used to playing as. Trying to keep that image was very difficult. It's a game that utilizes 3D, a really free world where you can go and do anything you really want to. It's not very linear. And with this adventurous world inside the Mega Man Legends series, we figured that there's a lot of different kinds of action, not just destroying an enemy or defeating an enemy. Other kinds of action